The first thing you need to understand is the transmutation order.
You didn't mention
it goes
about
from
it, yes.
hydrogen to carbon.
Yeah, just tell us about this transmutation, because you said you can create the oil from water.
Yes, and this is what is happening within Earth, in between the magma, when it's not kind of liquid anymore. You have the movement of the underground water, the juvenile water, and within this water you have these transmutation chains, and there you turn water to something similar to plant oil. And if you prolong the process, you go to silicium, and you go to precious metal.
So even gold you can make from water?
Yes, we had that in the lab.
Amazing.
It does work.
Is it liquid gold?
No, it's colloidal or monoatomic, depending on the way you do it. And this is kind of creating oil dotted with monoatomic precious metals.
How fast it has to turn?
To be precise, it's close to 5 Hertz. But it's not important now. So this is one part. Then what you also get is more complicated hydrocarbon structures like nanotubes. Very tiny nanotubes are created in this way. And the entire mixture kind of works like biology. What we have in the body is the DNA and the hydrocarbon environment, and within the DNA you have a single gold atom that is attracting light. And then this light that is coming in is stored by the spiral antenna, hold for a moment, and then resend back. So this is how the DNA is taking in light and giving out light.
Like a little transmitter?
And the little transmitter, no, the transmitter is the DNA itself, but the thing that is pulling the light towards the DNA, this is the gold atom. And this is happening on a very tiny scale within the black goo. You have all these precious elements in the monoatomic state processing the light, and you have the hydrocarbon environment to keep the distance stable and all the things. So it is kind of a more dense biology that is eternal, because it doesn't have the cycles of dying and having children. So it can remember everything
but
that has been...
It can store all the information from biosphere.
Yes, it is kind of empathic with the biosphere on one hand, and it remembers everything.
Can you retrieve the information from black goo?
This is what you call Akasha Chronicles.
This is the Akasha Chronicles.
This is the Akasha.
Do you think the quantic machines, they work accessing informations from the black goo?
The Quantec is accessing, I don't know the system very well, but as far as I know, all these modern medical applications, they do interact on light level with the physical body.
Yeah, but you can put the photo of the person.
The photo is entangled to the body, so you can extract the full information from the photo.
I'm just asking about it because it gives me the impression that all the information is stored in black goo, so it could be retrieved from the black goo also.
So this is possible.
Yeah, so those criminals...
It's theoretically possible, or it is possible?
It is possible.
So those criminals who committed all those crimes, like World Trade Center and others, they are not safe, because one day we can retrieve the information who did it for real.
Yes, but it's not about revenge.
Not revenge, but truth.
Yes, but there are better ways to come to the truth. You don't.
Okay.
This is old world thinking.
We could talk for hours because there are some interesting subjects, but as everybody see that we all are tired after tonight. So
I'm not tired.
No,
absolutely not. Harald isn't tired either.
So
I've never heard such jargon.
Something more optimistic. International cooperation. Do you think this is the way for us to go?
Absolutely. This is a whole new way of looking at information and retrieving it and doing things.
Today, I think it was a big success of this
consciousness thing.
Yes.
This is what we did in the Irish Pirates. It was a symptom of the Irish awakening, because they were shut down. For some reason, the powers that be, I don't want to name names, made a great deal of effort to shut down the consciousness of those who came from the islands off the coast of Europe, because there was something they knew, something they have intrinsically, in their DNA, which they don't want people to wake up. And that was the time when the Irish awoke, and it's I think a very positive thing. They've rebelled against a great challenge, as you have here in Poland. It's a huge challenge that you've overcome after tremendous trauma, and in many respects the Irish have overcome, or they still have to overcome. I think there's too many still looking backwards, but by overcoming this you can use it to leapfrog into a new and better future with a positive way of doing things.
I like sharing information. I love sharing inspiration. And this is a huge difference, because inspiration is changing the being.
For
information is just, messing up the brain a little bit more. So there's a huge difference between the two. This is one thing, and I see one pattern that people tend to look for solutions outside of themselves. And this has never worked, because every solution that comes must come inside of the people. So as long as we kind of sit here and talk about who could change anything to the better, we are in this mode of trying to talk the other one into responsibility to do something. But actually the only way is to do it with yourself. To dive into your own history, into your own life, and clear up the mess you have around yourself. And once this mess is cleared up, then we produce people that are able to inspire.
But do you think your tonight's speech helped Poles to change in the way they will start doing something?
Time will show, but I felt that the openness was there to be inspired. I hope that I was clear enough to be able to inspire.
So the information...
It's not about information. Of course, it is a difference. Information can be taken up by the head. Information can be taken up by the heart, but it doesn't mean that the information changes anything. But if the heart is open, the heart can sense truth, just out of itself. So it just needs, this trigger to realize, this is the truth. But it needs an open heart to speak. And it needs an open heart to receive.
Yes.
Then this realizing of truth can happen within beings, and then inspiration is there. And this is a thing about quality. And this is a quality you can reach if you clear up yourself. If you are yourself talking with an open heart, and this needs to be in peace with yourself. Because if you're not in peace with yourself, you cannot open your heart, because it's too painful.
Yeah, but this kind of conferences filter out people who are willing to do something. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. There is a danger with these kind of conferences, and we've seen it in other conferences in the past, where it becomes it can be something where you come and get your dose of new knowledge, and it becomes a little bit like the church. You go to the church on a Sunday and you have hellfire and damnation yelled at you. You profess your sins, do all this sort of stuff, and then you go home and do what you normally do. So the conference style is, and we need to engage in people in different ways. This is a challenge for getting this information and how it's worked.
Yeah, but it goes further. The name of the project is Projekt Earth, Projekt Ziemia, which was started by Danuta with help of Madeleine, who invited you here. So maybe it's a time to...
It needs planting seeds. We need to make them grow, and give them directions to flow, to grow. But not lead them, but give that. This is what we discovered in Ireland. It was called the intelligence transfer sequence.
Yeah.
And that's actually a computer name. I think it comes from a Microsoft dialogue. The thing was that nobody actually told somebody to do something. People became inspired to create and do it themselves, and it's that inspiration to make things grow. It's what you put into the roots, then the plant grows itself. It's important that people do it themselves, and giving that inspiration is what's important. And this kind of wonderful freedom and happiness and joy and laughing is a huge and wonderful thing, and may it inspire and grow and be wonderful.
What would you advise to people, to Polish people, to do now?
they will find that inspiration themselves. I cannot tell them. Nobody can tell you. It comes from within. To make the spirit within glow outside and expand.
As to the Polish people, what I find necessary to do, or what I would like to see happening, is that the Polish people would go into their past, especially the pre-World War II times, to see how basically the country was messed up by falling for false promises by the Brits, provoking a strong neighbor, and now they're repeating the same story over again. Provoking Russia on behalf of stupid promises by the NATO or United States. And if you don't face the mistakes of the past, there is always a tendency to restage them. And this is what I can, in parts, see happening at the moment. And I would really love to see the Polish people stand up against their government, telling them, no, not again. Because there's no need to be victimized another time and to turn the country again into a battlefield. What for? All the lessons can be learned with the history we have to look at. And we don't need to repeat history to be able to learn.
What we do is you take in your genetics the building blocks and the experience of joy and inspiration, and somehow invert the trauma to catapult that inspiration to higher levels.
Thank you very much.
A joy to Poland.